President Donald Trump will announce more tariffs today. That's where we're starting the 7 from the Washington Post. I'm Hannah Jewell. It's Monday, February 10th. Let's get you caught up with today's 7 stories. Trump said he will impose 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum imports. A reminder, a tariff is essentially a tax on goods coming into the U.S. It's paid by importers, but they tend to pass on the costs to consumers. Tariffs have been a key part of Trump's economic strategy, sparking trade wars with the U.S.'s biggest trading partners. That includes Canada, which is a top supplier of steel and aluminum to the U.S. Trump has said he thinks Canada should be the 51st state. Last week, Trump delayed more sweeping tariffs on Canada and Mexico until next month. But he has increased tariffs on goods from China. And this morning, China's retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods took effect. But China buys a lot less from the U.S. than vice versa. Meanwhile, Trump and his billionaire advisor Elon Musk continued their efforts to drastically cut and reshape the federal government this weekend. In an interview with Fox News that aired before the Super Bowl yesterday, Trump said he trusts Musk.
Trust Elon? Oh, he's not gaining anything. In fact, I wonder how he can devote the time to it. He's so into it. But I told him do that. Then I'm going to tell him very soon, like maybe in 24 hours, to go check the Department of Education. He's going to find the same thing. Then I'm going to go to the military. Let's check the military. We're going to find billions, hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud and abuse.
Musk's team has now swept through at least 15 agencies. And it was announced on Friday that the Trump administration is also cutting billions of dollars in funding for biomedical research. Scientists say that will harm the fight against cancer and heart disease. Federal workers face another resignation deadline today. That's number 2. The Trump administration has given federal workers until the end of the day to decide whether to take its deferred resignation program. That offer promises to pay workers through September if they quit now. The White House says most of 2.3 million federal workers are eligible. But there could be further delays. A federal judge is scheduled to hear arguments today on whether the offer is legal. It follows a lawsuit from unions representing more than 800,000 civil servants. That lawsuit called the resignation deal an arbitrary, unlawful, short-fused ultimatum. Around 65,000 workers have reportedly already accepted the deal. But the ongoing legal wrangling is adding to their confusion. Some of them are worried about their employment status and whether they jumped at the offer too quickly. Number 3. Trump revoked security clearances of former Biden administration officials. The officials include Biden's Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, and his National Security Advisor, Jake Sullivan. The move denies them continued access to classified information. And Trump said on Friday that he will revoke Biden's clearance. Typically, former presidents continue receiving classified briefings. But Biden revoked Trump's security clearance in February 2021, citing the attack on the U.S. Capitol. Meanwhile, Democratic efforts to resist Trump are starting to ramp up. Some Democrats said this weekend that their party should fight back against Trump and Musk by refusing to help Republicans reach a government funding deal. Yesterday on NBC's Meet the Press, New Jersey Senator Andy Kim said he's prepared to let the government shut down.
They are simply trying to dismantle the government. So yes, look, if we have to take steps to be able to hold them accountable, use the leverage that we have to force it, I cannot support efforts that will continue this lawlessness that we're seeing when it comes to this administration's actions. And for us to be able to support government funding in that way, only for them to turn it around to dismantle the government, that is not something that should be allowed.
Senate Democrats have also set up a whistleblower complaint portal for federal workers. It will allow them to report what they see as unlawful activities in response to Musk's efforts to downsize the federal government. Number 4. Trump doubled down on his proposal to take over Gaza. Speaking to reporters on Air Force One yesterday, Trump once again said he wanted the U.S. to buy and redevelop the Gaza Strip. He said the war-torn territory should be thought of as a, quote, big real estate site. The move would displace millions of Palestinians, which is illegal under international law. And Arab countries, including Jordan, which is already home to millions of Palestinian refugees, have pushed back. The comments come at a sensitive time for a ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas. On Saturday, Hamas released 3 more Israeli hostages in exchange for 183 Palestinian prisoners as part of that deal. There are less than 3 weeks before the first phase of the agreement expires, and the next phase still needs to be negotiated. Many people who lost their homes in the Los Angeles fires won't have the money to rebuild. That's our 5th story. As insurance gets more expensive, homeowners in fire-prone areas are increasingly carrying policies that may not cover the full cost of rebuilding. Experts estimate that more than 2/3 of those who lost their homes in last month's wildfires may be underinsured in this way. That will make it harder for many people to return to their communities after the catastrophe. The problem will probably play out unevenly across Los Angeles. The destroyed neighborhood of Pacific Palisades is one of the wealthiest in America. But Altadena, which was also devastated, is more middle class. Many people there inherited their homes, and they have limited savings. Number 6, multilingual children may have higher executive function skills. A study published in Autism Research found that multilingual children have a higher ability to understand different people's perspectives compared to children who speak one language. They were also better at social communication and reading social cues. The effect was more pronounced in children with autism. Multilingual children on the autism spectrum showed much higher impulse control than their single-language counterparts. Researchers think this may be because of the way these children have to read a room to figure out which language to speak, and they have to focus on suppressing whatever language they're not using, and that could be good practice in developing self-control. And at number 7.
For the second time, the Vince Lombardi Trophy is headed to Philadelphia. Eagles fly in Super Bowl 59.
The Eagles overwhelmed the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. The Kansas City Chiefs were hoping to become the first NFL team to win 3 straight Super Bowl titles. But yesterday in New Orleans, those hopes ended in disaster. The Philadelphia Eagles dominated from the start. They scored the first 34 points on their way to beating the Chiefs 40-22. It was the franchise's second Super Bowl victory. The rapper Kendrick Lamar performed the halftime show, including his Grammy-winning Drake diss track, Not Like Us. The crowd sang along.
I'ma do my stuff. Why you trolling like a, ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord and it's probably A minor.
Samuel L. Jackson hosted the halftime show dressed as Uncle Sam. And tennis star Serena Williams and R&B star SZA made appearances. Donald Trump was there to watch it all. He's the first sitting president to attend the Super Bowl. And as always, the ads got people talking. In our newsletter today, you can find a link to watch all the best, worst, and weirdest commercials. If you like to watch ads in your free time, no judgment, just follow the link in our show notes. All right, you're all caught up. But it's sure to be another busy week of news. The best way you can keep up with it all and support the work of Post journalists is with a subscription to The Washington Post. And we have a great deal right now. You can get a year's all-access digital subscription for $40. Just head over to WashingtonPost.com/subscribe. I'm Hannah Jewell. I'll meet you back here tomorrow.